all of us should, all of you watching our show, we know that politicians will exaggerate and say some things that may not be true, but this seems to be crossing a line, even for those conservatives. There are a lot of conservatives that said this has gone too far. So let's bring in Steve Santos, the syndicated radio host for KDWN, and entrepreneur, community leader, and Air Force veteran, Tiffany Ditlevson. Tiffany, what's your take on this? Because the interesting dynamic, without getting too wonky about this, is Kevin McCarthy needs an extra vote. So a lot of Republicans want this guy to take office. They're not thrilled about how he went about getting the office.
Yeah, the way I see it, there's two things. I was chatting with a friend who's a county party chair for the Republican Party, and unless there's nothing criminal that he's done, he will probably be sworn in. I feel like personally his conscience should prevent him from taking the role. He lied to people. It's a slap in the face of people who've gone on to get credentials and education, have spent time, money, and sacrificed to, get college degrees, work in certain places, and purely his conscience should prevent him from taking office and serving the people. And I want to go back to, Bob, what you were talking about earlier when you were talking about the future for President Trump, and you're talking about the future of the party. I am hoping that the future of the Republican Party is one of great character and great integrity. And I don't think that George Santos is going to be a representative of that. I'm looking at this picture and I'm even doubting he needs the glasses.
See, that's the problem as you get to that point. So, Steve, give me your thoughts on this.
I agree. Look, liar, liar, pants on fire. Where I come from, you lie, you're a liar. And he's going to go on the floor of Congress promising XYZ for his constituency. How are they supposed to trust him? How's the American people supposed to trust the Republican Party? I understand they want the votes. I get it. Our country's in trouble under this Biden regime. It is. And I get, let's look the other way because the greater good and the bigger picture is we can do much more and we can do investigations on these Democrats and on Biden. But at the end of the day, the next generation's looking. Character, integrity, at least to me, still means something. And I just don't like the guy. I don't like liars. And I still, maybe call me naive, I believe politicians are supposed to be at a different level. They're supposed to be statesmen at a higher standard. And this certainly doesn't represent any of that.
Yeah, because the whole foundation, his whole image looks to have been created beyond what most people are comfortable with. What's interesting, Tiffany, is I've heard this scenario, that he'll take office, take the oath, and then place his vote for Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, and then resign and be the shortest serving congressman in the history of the House. But I'm thinking, if he takes the oath of office, there's no way he's going to step down.
No.
Chatting with some friends, the hope is that obviously this area of New York wants conservative representation. They elected a Republican, and that's a great thing. The seat belongs to the Republicans. I would hope that he would take office, vote as he needs to vote, do some soul searching, and perhaps, like you said, have the shortest term ever. He's already in the history books for other things. So, no need to prolong
this. And just so folks know, all of us know that Democrats lie a lot. We're just talking about a situation here that even a lot of Republicans are uncomfortable with, and we're trying to look at the reality of how this might play out. And it's an odd one. Technically what happens, by the way, this is not an appointment from the governor. If he were a senator, the governor of New York would appoint a replacement. That's not what happens in this case. There would be a special election. Probably would take 60 to 90 days. There'd be a special election for that seat, just so everybody knows. All right, stick around, panel. We have more coming up.